Outliers? Today we got a fall along video for motocross athletes. However, if you're not a motocross athlete, don't worry. This fall along mobility video will be great for you no matter what. So, start pretty simple. We're gonna start with a seated twist from the position that we're currently in, which is just a nice crisscross position on the floor. If this position is a little uncomfortable for you, maybe you need to elevate your rear end, feel free to sit on a pillow, yoga blocks, a book, whatever works. But first things first, we're gonna start with putting our left hand to our right knee, and then the right hand's gonna come around. And we're just gonna give ourselves a nice little twist here. So sometimes when we're doing mobility or stretching and stuff like that, we forget that breath is a huge part. So let's make sure that we're taking breaths. We're gonna actually take it in about 3 to 5 big breaths. So in through the nose, and either out through the nose or out through the mouth. This is kind of up to you, but we want to intentionally keep our chest and chin tall while we're making those breaths so that we can not only twist better, but breathe better during this. Once you've done about those 3 to 5 breaths, we're just going to switch it, come to the other side. So now the right hand will come to the left knee. And for some people, this might mean your back pops. You might get a little crack in there. That's all good. Sometimes we pay people to pop our backs, so why not take it for free right here? Easy peasy. So next thing we're gonna move on to is a hurdler stretch. Very simple, easy stretch. Also a common one for many people. If you've ever ran or done anything like that, this is definitely a stretch that is done quite frequently. So all we're gonna do is we're going to take one leg, we're gonna bring it to the inside of our other thigh. Once again, if this position is uncomfortable or maybe this knee is up like this, you can go ahead and support it, or you can support your rear end by elevating yourself up a little bit. Next, we're gonna reach our hands up nice and tall, and we're gonna fall forward. With this, you may or may not reach your foot, and that's totally okay. The goal is definitely to be able to get to your foot and maybe potentially drop your head to your knee, but if coming to your shin or your ankle is all that you have today, that is totally cool. So just like our seated twist, we're gonna focus on some breathing. We're gonna hold this for roughly 30 seconds or so, and if you feel like you need to stretch a little bit longer, take a little more time, feel free, of course. So this mobility circuit that we're gonna kind of be rolling through, this can be done morning time, afternoon, post-workout, nighttime, all that stuff, but we're definitely focusing on just getting ourselves relaxed. So this isn't really like a warm up or anything that we're trying to get the body temperature elevated before a workout or before going and doing an activity. Rather, we're just gonna solely focus on the relaxation portion of this. So we're gonna go ahead and switch our legs now. So other leg kicks out. And we're gonna come in with the other foot on the inside of that thigh. And then we're gonna reach up, and come forward as far as we can. So a lot of stretching and mobility is down regulation of our nervous system. So our nervous system split into the 2 parts. There's basically an excitatory nervous system and then a relaxing nervous system. The fight or flight, which is our sympathetic, is more of that excitatory, while the parasympathetic, rest and digest, is more of that relaxation type nervous system that we're actually trying to target right now. So that's where that good breath work comes into play as well. Taking the good breaths in and good breaths out to help regulate that nervous system or down regulate it so that we can get into a more recovered state. Most of these stretches are gonna be isometric or static, so we're just gonna hold in one place and not really move too much with it. Next thing, we're going to go ahead and bring our feet together. This is a butterfly position, pretty common stretch. Everyone's very familiar with this. However, what we're gonna do instead of sitting up tall with it, we're actually going to recline ourselves back onto the floor and then let our knees fall out with gravity. The nice part about this is A lot of the times people have a hard time with the butterfly position because of the supporting, so maybe going to a wall would be easier, but in this reclined butterfly position, we can actually relax and let gravity just pull the knees down. Really comfortable position. Honestly, it's pretty relaxing. So we're gonna hang out here for 30 seconds, maybe a little bit longer. We're gonna focus on the breath and more so focus on the breathing down towards the stomach rather than up through the chest and the neck. So we should feel that belly coming up a little bit and then sink it back down. We can place our hand on our belly to kind of feel that as well. A lot of the times we're not breathing downwards through the diaphragm and we're breathing more up into our rib cage, which we do have the function of breathing up into our rib cage and we have muscles that actually help with that. However, the belly should be the thing that expands first and then the rib cage should expand second. So if we're expanding the rib cage first and not even getting into the belly, our breathing can have a little bit of a dysfunction to it. Awesome. We're gonna come up now, back into our starting position. We're going to be working our hamstrings a little bit. So the hurdler stretch that we started with, a little bit of hamstring, a little bit of back, maybe a little bit of lat, depending upon what you're feeling. But this next one for the hamstrings is gonna be a nice, pretty normal hamstring stretch that a lot of people probably have done. If you need assistance of a band, a towel, or anything like that to pull back on the leg, feel free to do so. I'm just going to actually reach up and pull back myself. So we're gonna come back down into our supine position on our backs, and then we're going to simply just kick a leg up. And if this is comfortable enough just to hold it with your hands, great. If not, like I said, you can grab a towel or a band or something to wrap around the toes and help you assist pull back. So this is just kind of up to the person's comfort and where they're at with their flexibility and mobility and everything like that. Sometimes I'll use a band, sometimes I won't, just kind of depends, but for the sake of today, I'm just kind of gonna use my hands to help me pull it back and support the back of my knee. And I'm gonna keep my toe fairly flexed. I don't want my toe pointing towards the ceiling too much, but I also don't want to like yank the toe backwards and lock my knee out. That can be actually a little bit counterproductive as far as hamstring stretching goes. And then I'm also going to focus on my down leg and keeping that toe up towards the ceiling so it's not folding out. Believe it or not, if we fold this leg out, we start to avoid some of the more medial hamstrings. So we're going to try and keep it up so all the hamstring muscles in the back are going to get a nice stretch. Then we're just going to go ahead and switch sides. So if you got a band, switch it up. Go right up. Left side's definitely feeling a little bit tighter. That's actually not uncommon for me, at least, because my left side has been through more injuries and it's dealt with a little bit more trauma, so the muscles on the left side can feel a little bit tighter. A couple broken legs and knee surgery later, stuff feels a little bit different, but it doesn't really stop me from doing much, of course. Just in this stretch in particular, I can feel a little bit more of a stretch in the hamstrings. And like I said, on the other side, keep that down toe up towards the ceiling and keep this toe slightly flexed, but we're not yanking it backwards and we're not locking that knee out aggressively hard. So we're gonna move forward into a quadruped position where we're gonna be on our hands or knees. So quadruped simply just means hands and knees. There's gonna be a lot of positions that we're gonna do, but this one's pretty straightforward just because quad is 4. So we're gonna go onto our hands and knees. And this position we're gonna do was called the thread and needle. Sometimes it's easier to widen your knees out when in this position. And we wanna keep our bottoms fairly over our knees, but we can drop them back a little bit if it's a little bit more comfortable. So we're gonna thread the needle. We're gonna do 5 on each side, and feel free to take your time with these because there's a good stretch at the bottom and also at the top. So we're gonna reach up to the ceiling. That's our stretch at the top. And then we're gonna thread that needle through, come at the bottom here. And we're taking our time. We're not trying to rush it. Just nice and easy. 2. The head should be coming down to the floor. However, if you're not quite getting all the way there, that's totally okay. I actually even lost count. This might be an extra one, but that's okay. Never hurts to do one more mobility motion. All right, switch it up to the other side. Now, left is up to the ceiling. All right, come back through. Rest that head. This side's a little bit tighter for me today, which is not a problem. I'm gonna be following this mobility, flexibility up with a good warm up, and then doing a workout. And so, like I said, this isn't a warm up in itself, but if I follow this up with another, sequence of movements, it can play into the warm up where now I'm just like a little bit more loose and ready to go into like a fast paced warm up where I'm gonna actually elevate the body temperature, maybe do a little bit more explosive movements prior to the workout today. Perfect. Next one is a runner lunge with a twist, and this is gonna be our last one. So this is sticking on theme with runner. We did some hurdlers, so we're gonna do a runner now. So pretty straightforward here. We're gonna go from our quadruped position of our hands and knees. We're gonna actually just kick one leg back and then bring one leg forward as well. And this is gonna give us that runner position that we're looking for. So one hand is gonna go on the floor, and it's gonna be the hand of the opposite side. So if your right foot is forward, your left hand is gonna remain on the floor. And then that right hand is going to twist and reach the ceiling, and then come back down. We're gonna do about 5 to 10 of these per side, all while maintaining glute activation on the back leg, which is gonna push us forward, and we're gonna feel a stretch in that groin while we're gonna get that thoracic rotation. Once you've done about 5 to 10, you can switch it up. Other leg goes forward. Now remember, now left leg's forward means right hand is gonna remain on the floor, and left hand is gonna be going to the ceiling. You can take your time with it. I'm moving pretty quick on these because they feel nice to move a little bit faster. So find your pace, find what feels good for you. Perfect. So like I said, this sequence of movements, great to do any time of the day, doesn't really matter, but do remember that if you're gonna be doing a workout, these movements need to be followed up with another set of movements to elevate the body temperature. Because though we are moving around, it's gonna feel really good, we're not actually getting ourselves totally prepared for activity. So with that being said, make sure that you head over to the next video, which is a warm up that is gonna actually help this one get even further. So thank you for your time, and also make sure that you like and subscribe.